Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to all our friends, viewers, stakeholders, fans of Africa Rise with Susan West. It is a beautiful Sunday here. It's surprisingly warm today. Yes, I was out and about and I was overdressed. It was warm and nice. So, welcome. I do hope that you had a pleasant week so far. And as we look forward to a new week beginning with the work and the hustle and bustle, I do hope that we have a successful week. And so, as you join this broadcast, do the needful, which is invite your friends, share this broadcast, like, follow, and subscribe. If you're watching from YouTube, please subscribe. And when you do subscribe, press the bell button. And if you're watching from our Facebook page, like and follow our page. So, yes, we're throughout the month of October, we've decided that we're going to, delve into the lives of continental Africans who live in the diaspora, continental Africans who live in the West, or anywhere else for that matter. We want to find out this thing they do from the United Nations, celebrating Black History Month. We want to delve into it to find out, just discuss about the historical relevance of the Black History Month. And as individuals, how does it affect us, especially as continental Africans who live in the West? So that's what we're going to be talking about. Um, Unfortunately, one of my guests is struggling to come on, but we're going to carry on the show anyway and hope that she's able to join us. She's a mental health nurse here in England, and our second guest is joining us from the United States of America. So, in a moment, we will begin our chat. But let's take this brief video from the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
As we celebrate Black History Month this October, I want to pay a particular tribute to the black doctors, nurses, and midwives and medical staff who for generations have been healing the sick and tending to the wounded. Nurses like Mary Seacole, who rode to the rescue of British soldiers in the Crimea, winning widespread love and admiration from the public. Annie Brewster, born in St Vincent, who worked in a Victorian hospital in London. Princess Sahi of Ethiopia, Kofoworola Abeni Pratt of Nigeria, and all those who answered the call to serve in the newly created NHS after World War II. They epitomised public service, and today their baton is being carried forward by the incredible people in our NHS and all those who rallied round it in our battle against COVID. The transport workers, those in public health, the police, the armed forces personnel. Your courage and your fortitude have been awe-inspiring. We could not do this without you, so thank you. Today, I'm proud to lead a country celebrated for its dynamism and diversity, where every day Black Britons are making history. From Yvonne Connolly CBE, Britain's first black head teacher who sadly passed away this year, to Colour Sergeant Johnson Bahari, who in 2005 was the first living British recipient of the Victoria Cross in 4 decades. And of course, all those who have just demonstrated how great Britain is at the Olympics and Paralympics in Tokyo. I want everyone to have the chance to make the most of their talents. And that's why we're creating a new lifetime skills guarantee and helping hundreds of thousands of young people find employment through our Kickstart scheme. And it's great to see such fantastic initiatives as the 10,000 Black Interns programme. Now, as we recover from the pandemic, our mission is to ensure everyone is given a fair chance so that together we can build back better. I wish everyone the best of luck for this Black History Month.
Welcome back. So that was Prime Minister Boris Johnson celebrating Black History Month. And for us Black people, especially continental Africans who live in, the Western countries like the UK, Europe, United States of America, we do appreciate these countries that we live in. We love these countries that we live in, but we also do wish that we could develop our home countries, to be as develop our own countries to function the way that these countries in the West do function. And so what we're going to be doing is talking to just ordinary individuals who have left the different countries from the continent of Africa to live abroad and share their experiences, the pros and cons of living in the West. So I wanted to start with a mental health nurse here, but she's finding it difficult joining us. We're just going to take on with our guest in the United States of America. Yes, so Prince Ero Ibafidon, welcome to Africa Rise with Susan West.
Thank you so much for having me, Susan.
Right. Could you increase your volume a little bit, just a little bit, so that we can hear you a little more better? Okay, no worries, no worries. Just continue. First of all, I want you to introduce yourself to the audience, what you do, where you live, and so on.
I'm Prince Ero Ibafidon. I'm from Nigeria. I'm presently in the United States, Atlanta to be precise. I'm the founder of Waterlight Seed Initiative and Waterlight Industries Limited. And basically, in Waterlight Seed Initiative, we reached out to many of the unreached communities in Africa with various targeted community-based programs and initiatives. And so far, so good. God has been faithful, and we have been really doing what we're called to do, which is reaching back to our communities, and that's what we're doing.
Right. So my first question is going to be, you live in the United States of America. How long have you lived in the United States of America?
I do more back and forth in the US because Africa needs more of us back in Africa to actually do more. So I've been back and forth in the United States and Nigeria because there is a lot of projects ongoing in Nigeria that we need to be part of, and that's what we've been doing, and we've been there.
Right. You have the privilege of going back and forth. Not many continental Africans go abroad and have that privilege. Yeah. So from your experience living in the United States, how would you describe the way that we thrive as Black people in that country?
Yeah, I think we are striving well, and Nigerians, I would say, we are doing very well in
generally Black people.
Black people are doing extremely well. Today, I heard a Black man's testimony of how he bought a property where white people live for over $300 million US, and he's doing a legit job. This is rebranding Africa, rebranding the Black communities, and letting the other people know that, okay, fine, we as Black, we actually can stand out in our different ways. And take, for instance, I'm getting the US Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award, which not many Blacks get. And this is based on my community service that I'm doing back in Africa. So it's still speaking everywhere. So I would say the Black are really doing extremely well. And they are actually setting the pace for even other races, right? I would say that, because today when I heard what that brother said, what that man said, how he bought that property, I was motivated. This is a Black man speaking like this, living in our place, doing the things that other people cannot do. And he's legal. He's doing the right thing and making the right money. So unlike other people that think they can live off other people to get what they want to get, but no, people are still out there doing what needs to be done, and they are getting results. I'm a testimony because people ask me, is the government behind you? Is this behind you? No, but yet we are doing what has to be done, and the testimony is speaking for itself. So I think the Black are making a whole lot of impact nationwide, worldwide, and like what the Prime Minister of New York, of Britain said. He mentioned a lot of Black people that have changed life, that have impacted life everywhere in the world. And I'm happy that a few Nigerians were mentioned. So that's how far that we are doing. And I would believe that we are like actually the pathfinder for other Africans that are willing to do well and also impact positively in the communities to also trade on. So I think there is still more to be done. And I think it's about time that Africa wake up to reality and do what needs to be done.
Absolutely. So you recently was given that award, presidential award. Do you want to?
Yeah.
Just one moment. Do you want to tell us what you did and why you were recognized. And if you say that it's a rare opportunity for a Black person to receive that award, why do you think you were singled out to get that award from President Biden?
Good works, grace. So those are the only things that speak out. Good work, grace. When you do a good work, you don't need to speak it loud. You don't need to, like an American saw that and was like, is your organization an American organization? I said no. He said this thing is really given to outsiders, to foreigners. It's more of the American community they give it to. So how come? I said that's because they see good works. They probably want to use it to encourage other people to also do more.
Okay, what exactly does your organization or your initiative? What exactly do you do?
We reached out to unreached communities with humanitarian services, and that award I got was on my community service to many of the unreached communities. And Waterlight is known for reaching the unreached communities in Nigeria. We don't go to where other initiatives or NGOs go to by going to city centers and display. No, we go to where even the United Nations do not go to. We go to the unreached communities, the Boko Haram infested communities, the places that people are scared to go. That is where Waterlight Initiative goes.
So your initiative, the works that you do is based on the continent of Africa. Is that
yes?
Yes. It's not like it's something you do in the United States of America.
It's something that is spread across Africa. It's not just limited to giving serving Nigerians with humanitarian activities and all of that. No, we provide waters in other communities like in Zambia, in Ghana, and we'll be doing that mostly in unreached communities. And today we still have a community in Ghana that wrote back to us and asking us if we could actually come to their rescue. That they are living in, they have over 1.something million people in that community, but they do not have clean water. So they don't even drink from the community. They have to get water from a nearby communities to drink. This is also Africa. This is what Waterlight Initiative is known for, reaching the unreached community with the right sustainable development goals. And we are not asking, we are not like recently, the senior special assistant to the president of Nigeria wrote us a letter on how commending us of what we've been doing and actually applauding us and asking us to come on how we can also strengthen in the 2030 Sustainable Development Goal that is being slated out. So this is because of the good work that Waterlight Save Initiative has been doing, and I think that's why those accolades and many others are coming and will still come.
Yeah, listening to your story, it makes going abroad look like it look like something everybody wants to do, because it looks like you can actually achieve your dream if you left your country back home in Africa and go abroad. But that's not the story for many of us. So in your experience living in the United States of America or working, how would you what would be the ratio to very successful Black people? I'm not talking about Nigerians now, just Nigerians. I'm talking generally as Black people. What is the ratio of the Black people who are doing very well and the ones who are just struggling, if you have ever encountered any of them in your experience?
Oh, okay. Yeah. A lot of Black people are struggling, and a lot of Black people are living their best, I would say. So I think I wouldn't want to give a ratio, so I wouldn't give the wrong one, but I would say if it's just people knowing why they are coming to the United States and having the right reason coming over here. If you're coming to the United States for the wrong reasons, it will hit back at you in no time. You get
what's the right reason and what's the wrong reason of going abroad, not just the United States for Africans?
Okay, fine. I believe that if your mindset is what you can do for your community while coming back here, and you know that okay, while you're here, the goal is to make Africa great and to represent and to be a real ambassador to Africa. I think if you have that mindset, you, first of all, getting into crime will not be a priority for you, will not be a thing of thought for you. You won't even be thinking of that. Why? Because as an ambassador, you're meant to represent, and because you are the face that a lot of people see, and not the country. If I do well in Nigeria, they are not going to talk of Prince Ero, no. They are going to talk of Nigeria. Even if they mention Prince Ero, they are going to mention Prince Ero from Nigeria. That country must be highlighted. You get what I mean now? So if, for instance, I'm also doing something that is not legal, they will still mention it the same way that, oh, Prince Ero from Nigeria. This is what they did. This is what he did and all of that. So they've used me to tag a whole country, right? And the same way I'm doing what I'm doing, they are still using me to tag a whole country. Recently, I saw somebody from the Congress and telling me that, oh, you're Nigerian. I said, oh, that she just traced her DNA to Nigeria. And this was a thing of, this was a thing of joy for her. But imagine if it was on the bad spot she met me, she wouldn't even tell me that she wouldn't even want to relate in that level with me that, oh, she had traced. She would rather be shy or want to keep it secret to herself. But she was very free and open to say, oh, I'm also Nigeria. I just traced. I look forward to going to Nigeria by next year when the COVID is now managed and all of that. So this is what rebranding Africa should stand for. I think we should be real ambassador for what we are.
Right. Your experience seemed to be that kind that seemed to perceive going abroad as just being a great ambassador, whereas there are people who have left the shores of Africa only because they need to survive. So I want, and I know that you're not living in an island in America where you don't know that these sort of people exist, and they're not. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are criminals, but they are there. So yes, Rahina Bello, welcome. Synovia Ridley, my beloved sister, welcome, welcome, welcome. I will get to you, Synovia, by the time we are proceeding with this discussion. So my question is, what are, when the British Prime Minister was appreciating and naming names and named even one of our own Nigerian people as the people who have contributed to building, contributing to this, the development of the society here. Black people all around the world are seen to do marvelous, marvelous things. Do you think, though, that Black people are truly, really appreciated in the right sense of the word, and it's not just lip service? In your experience, I'm talking about you looking at it from the angle of everybody else as a unit, not just your experience as Prince Ero Ebafidon.
Thank you very much for that question. I think really the first people that the first Black people get to see, which is their first impression, actually did a lot of harm than good in the side of many, I would say. But still, that is why you and I, and our sister, which is also on board, have to be the real ambassadors now, because the idea.
No, I'm not talking about ambassadorial. Yeah. You're not getting me. I'm not here to say Black people should do good so that the world will speak good of them, because Black people do good anyway. In every race, you have good and bad people. You have people who do good things and people who do bad things. It's doing something bad is not a unique trait for Black people alone. What I'm trying to say is that there are more Black people who do good things, who do great things. Do you think that the government of these countries only play lip service for the contributions of Black people to the development of these societies? Do you think it's just lip service, or do you think that they really truly acknowledge and appreciate what the contributions are of Black people in all the different countries that we find ourselves?
Yeah.
Do you think that Black people feel appreciated?
I don't think it's lip service. I think if they are being appreciated, they are being appreciated. It's because they recognize something that they are doing that others are not doing. That is the essence of appreciation. when you do something that other people don't do, you are being appreciated. And I don't think is lip service. For me, our matron is an American and an American senator who has been in office for, this is her fifth tenure, Senator Donzilla James. And she is proud that she is a matron to an organization that is a Nigerian organization. Anytime I call Senator Donzilla James, the seventh senator in the United States, she picks up her phone on one ring. So that is how much, when they want to appreciate, they appreciate. And when they want to turn their back, they turn their back. It's not lip service. They are doing what they feel is right. And when you just give them any reason not to be that person that you claim you are, they just turn their back, and that's that. So I wouldn't call it lip service. I think if you're good at what you do, you will be appreciated. And when you're appreciated, you are truly appreciated.
It's quite unfortunate that our second guest, who is also my namesake, Mrs. Susan Krumah, is having a lot of problem joining us on this broadcast. I'm hoping that we won't go on for too long before she's able to join, but I'll just carry on with the conversation, hoping that she'll be able to join, because I wanted to have diverse views on this, because your experience in America and your experience in the West is so heavenly that you're not able to even express what the ordinary Black person who is not a criminal, who is genuinely there working very hard, what their realities are, is what I want you to be able to, from their eyes, from their own experience. But you're not able to.
Let me give you a hint on something. I think a year ago I went to Sweden. Sweden is more of 90% white and less Black, I think. And I went there. There's this monarch, a historic this thing I wanted to visit, and it is on cost to enter into the cathedral. And I just introduce myself and tell them what I do. Trust me, I was given a free pass into that monarch. But a Black man would also do the same for a person with different race. But this is how much I'm just trying to boil out what it means for you to be really appreciated. That is a country that I'm not like, this is not a country I frequent. I think that was more like my first or second visit. And I really wanted to see, and they were like, okay, everybody, people were paying on the queue. And I introduced myself, and the man gave me everything he gave to other people that paid, and allowed me in, a Black man. And I will tell you, I was the only Black person in that distance that day. So when I don't know where other people go to, I don't know how they portray themselves. I think for me, I would say it's not lip service, like I said earlier. If they really want to appreciate you, they would appreciate you.
When I ask these questions, I ask not with my own experiences, because if we're going to go on individual experiences, I'll probably be sounding like you, because I haven't had so much of difficulties in places as much as other Black people would have had or have told me that they've had. But I am also a human being who lives in a society, who experience, and I look from a distance when I'm on the bus in London, when I'm traveling on the street, when I see Black people, regardless of whether they're Nigerians, Ghanaians, or anywhere else, I see how they live. I cannot but help beginning to think that this person that I'm looking at, if this person had a choice, will they be in this country? Will they be in the United States of America? Will they be in the United Kingdom? So my discussion today was trying to poke, but unfortunately, you cannot help me, because obviously you are in your own world where you seem to be cocooned, and you're not able to, but it's not your fault. That's your experience. I'm not going to judge you on that.
I know, okay, many years ago when I was working in the Middle East, I happened to get a contract with a company called QTEL, which is more like the Vodafone you use in UK or the T-Mobile we use here. They are the biggest telecom in Doha, Qatar. And I was meant to do the race floor ties. That was, okay, first, I'll give you an instance. When I got there, There were Tunisians that were doing the race floor trials, and I was the only Nigerian that came then to join them. But the supervisor, which was a Pakistani, saw that what 10 Tunisians were doing for 1 hour, I alone was doing it for less than 30 minutes. And after job, he called me and said, sorry, can I get more Nigerians from you by tomorrow? I said, how many? He said, even if it is 10. And trust me, the next day I came with 10. 2 days later, he said I should make if I can get 50 of them. So this was how Nigerians that were even out of jobs got jobs within a week. A lot of them were working, making money within a week. So what does that portray? Nigerians, we are good at what we do. When we want to do something, we put all our heart out for it. And that is the mentality we should always work with in whichever country we find ourselves. But a lot of people want the easy way out, I would say. So when they get busted and it turns out to be the other way around, they think, oh, the country is not working the way that it should have worked, or they just call it whatever they want to call it. So I wouldn't say, I remember that in that same country, a Nigerian that came, he told me that he's not sure whether they brought him abroad. I was like, how do you mean? He said when he boarded the flight, he slept off, and the next thing he heard is that they have landed. And he wanted to confirm whether it is Maiduguri they took him to, or this is really Qatar, because the sun was more like that of Maiduguri. You guys, so I always tell people about that story. And I was like, this is Qatar, this is how hot it is. And he said, wow, like he was always having a double talk. You understand? So I think we are the best, or rather we can actually come out and do the best we can if we really want to be good at what we do.
Right. So really quickly, Lance Beamon, thank you. Hello, everyone, he says. And Sinovia really says, people are fake. Sinovia really goes say, when I said I have been hearing the same thing all of my life, I was referring to politics. Okay. I think I'm a little confused with that. I must have missed something she said.
Okay,
well,
maybe she wanted to say you've been hearing the political talk. No, this one is not a political talk.
Right. Okay. You see, I'm happy for you that your experience is great, because we want to see our Black brothers and sisters thrive, do excellently well when they find themselves in foreign land. But as we go on throughout this October, talking about celebrating Black history, of course, we should celebrate ourselves every day of the year. But this is a time that is taken out around the world to appreciate Black people. And what we want to know, if you have your story, if you have a beautiful, unique story, whatever the story is that you feel you want to share with us, please contact us. Let us know what is your story. We want to hear stories from continental Africans who live in the diaspora, especially. And of course, we don't mind anyone else, but it will be it will be a very unique story if you're continental and you live in the diaspora, because I have heard so many different stories and trials and difficulties and blessings. And one of the things that struck me is that 9 out of 10, the 10 people that I have a conversation with, when I meet them in their different spheres of, work, I find that these people would rather have been back in their country if their countries were, well off or developed enough that they could just sit down there and have a life, So what we want to do is, as we celebrate the successes of the Blacks across the world who are doing excellent and marvelously well, we also want to share in the stories and the experiences of some of our Black brothers who are not criminals, who don't do evil things or do bad things necessarily, but who have a different kind of reality, so that we can begin to educate the people on the continent who seem to have a different idea of what living abroad is. And of course, as we carry on, unfortunately, I think our guest, Mrs. Krumah, might not be able to join us, because I don't want today's broadcast to be too long. But before we go, in this Black Month, October, that we celebrate the Black History Month, I just want to read out that it's also it also brings a nostalgic feeling for many of us who understand that the many Pan-African heroes that were killed or murdered or died just happened to have died or in the month of October. People like, I'm just going to take a short read. Um, During the course of the month of October, many freedom fighters died, and they died before the completion of their mission of total liberation of Africans. The following, so I'm just going to go ahead. The list goes on. These are people who are whose dream was to liberate Africa, in every sense of it. So you have Major General Fred Gisa Rwigema from Rwanda, who died on the 2nd of October, 1990. And you have Muhammad Anwar El Sadat from Egypt, who died on the 6th of October, 1981. And we have Prince Louis Rwagasore from Burundi, who died on the 13th of October, 1961. And we have Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere from Tanzania, who died on the 14th of October, 1999. And there's Captain Noel Thomas Sankara, of course, from Burkina Faso, who died on the 15th of October, 1987. We have Queen Yaya Asentewa from Ghana, who died on the 17th of October, 1921. And there is Lucky Philip Dube from South Africa, who died on the 18th of October 2007. Sadly, he was killed by unknown gunmen. And we have Samora Moses Michael from Mozambique, who died on the 19th of October 1986. And of course, Colonel Mohammed Abu Minya Gaddafi, who died on the 20th of October 2011. And Hendrik Witbo, who died on the 29th of October 1905. So you can see, as for the reasons why October was picked to celebrate Black History Month, I haven't looked into that, but these are people who have died in the month of October, and we should bear them in mind as we celebrate Black history, because these are people who have so much relevance in the affairs of Africa, even from the great beyond, because they've left their mark, and we talk about them, still talk about their works and them even today, like it was just yesterday. So yes, unfortunately, our other guests is still struggling to join in on the conversation today, but throughout the month of October, we might come up during the week or maybe just the weekend. However that we find it's convenient, we will come here to talk. So if you are a continental African who lives in the diaspora and you'd like to come and share your story here with us living in the West, please do contact us. Africa Rise TV on YouTube, Africa Rise TV on Facebook. Like, follow, subscribe, and share. So I'm just going to quickly bring back Prince Ero Ebafidon for his final words, and we'll call it a day for today. Yes. So Prince Ero, you were kicked out and you're back now. So really quickly, as we round up today, your final words, or not final words, just your parting words for, continental Africans and Africans in general who live in the diaspora, words of encouragement.
I would say that our fellow African brothers and sisters should be ambassadors of whichever countries they represent. Being a real ambassador is actually, like I believe, people don't need to know your country, or rather, they don't need to visit your country to know the country culture. They just need to know you. I have an American friend that is so hungry to come to Nigeria, not just because I'm his friend, but because he's also married to a good Nigerian girl. So he's so hungry. Even yesterday, I gave him one Ankara from Nigeria as a gift because of his passion of wanting to visit Nigeria. he is so hungry to be in Nigeria. This is because he is married to a good wife that understands what the culture is. And so he also has a very good friend who is proud of the country he's coming from. And whenever we have the opportunity to speak or fellowship, he believes that every Nigerian should be like Prince or like Prince. So it's just his mindset. And now I tell you that Newton is so hungry to be in Nigeria. He's so hungry for that. So I would say we should be real ambassadors of our countries in everywhere and anywhere we go to or find ourselves.
Right. Thank you so much for coming on. And congratulations on your award from the United States President.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So much. And yes, keep flying the flag. Keep flying the flag.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. And for everyone else who has, last week we came on to do a fundraiser for this young family to help little Isabella get funds to speak, to hear. For everyone who has donated, I cannot thank you enough. I cannot tell you how much you've done, but we have a very long while, a mile to still, attain in raising the kind of funds that we need. I was going to give you an update of how much we have raised so far, but I intend to wait another week because I want to be able to announce that when we've reached a significant milestone. But I just want to say a very big thank you to Synovia Ridley. She was the very first person, the moment we made that announcement, she was the very first person who went onto their GoFundMe account and she donated. And for that, I just want to say a big thank you, because this is a sister who is supportive, not just by talking, because sometimes what we do as Black people, we talk, and when it's time for action, we are seen lacking or lagging behind. Like I mentioned in that video, we have to learn to put our money where our mouth is, and where it is in investing in people, regardless whether you know them or not. So we should continue. Please go and watch our last broadcast. Please donate to Isabella's account, whether via GoFundMe account or their Nigerian account. Like I mentioned before, these are people I've never met. I've never known them online or in person, but because it's been brought to our attention, and I know that we can do it. We can do it, so please share the broadcast. Please encourage other people to donate, because we want to have little Isabella in the nearest future come here and she's able to speak, because the doctors have said it, that she can speak if only she can begin to hear, and they will take her through the process of learning to speak. She's still very young, and we can do this. We can do this. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. During the week, we will come on live at some point, yes, and we will come on live again on the weekend. Thank you, Prince Ero Ibafidon, and thank you for everything that you do. God bless you.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Okay, so everyone, if you haven't followed, or subscribed to our channels, please do so. It's Africa Rise TV on YouTube, Africa Rise TV on Facebook, Africa_Rise.tv on Instagram. Okay, I love you all. Oh, Synovia, God bless you. You are just 1 in a million. I appreciate you. I love you. God bless you. Lance Bimon, good night. It's good night from where you're joining from. Okay, it's actually getting late here as well. I love you all, and I'll see you. God willing, just press the bell button, because when you do press the bell button, you will know when we schedule a broadcast. These days, it's become a little difficult to be able to just state when we're coming on live, but I can promise you at some point during the week and on the weekend, we will be here. As much as possible, we want to tell the stories of us. So please contact us. If you are a continental African who lives in the diaspora, contact us. Let's share your story. We want to hear what the pros and cons is for you living in the West. God bless you. See you next time. Bye.